Welcome back. Today we're looking at a script tracing the origins of the Sunni-Shia split, from the Prophet's death all the way to Karbala.
A huge topic. And, right now, this draft feels more like a calendar than a story.
Exactly. That's the first thing. The piece is just drowning in a really dense linear chronology.
It's a list of caliphs and battles.
Yeah, and you're asking the listener to memorize dates instead of feeling the tragedy, which, it just obscures the central emotional core of the whole thing.
And that linear approach, it kills all the tension. By treating the successions of Abu Bakr, Umar, and Uthman as just like standard political turnovers, you completely dilute that intense feeling of betrayal that really fuels the schism. Things like the pen and paper incident or Ghadir Qom, they feel like random anecdotes.
They do. They feel disconnected.
Not the heartbeat of the conflict.
So I think we need to pivot here. Don't frame it as just a power vacuum. Frame this early section as what it is, a fundamental clash of ideologies.
Divine appointment versus community consensus.
Exactly. The Shia view versus the Sunni view.
Which means you have to be selective with the history.
Right. So instead of listing every single conquest of the first three caliphs, focus only on Ali's exclusion during that time.
I see. So you contrast the meeting at Saqifa, where Abu Bakr was elected while Ali was, burying the Prophet.
Directly against the declaration at Ghadir Qom, where Ali was called Mawla.
And that immediately forces the listener to ask the central question. What does Mawla mean? Is it a master or is it just a friend?
That question is the perfect setup for the climax, but the pacing right now just completely undercuts it.
Oh, definitely.
The script treats the Battle of Karbala with the same narrative weight as all the political stuff that came before it.
It just rushes the buildup. We fly through Yazid's demand for allegiance, the betrayal in Kufa,
Yeah.
and Karbala ends up feeling like just another military skirmish. You totally miss that this is the birth of an entire religious identity built on the idea of martyrdom.
So you have to slow down. You have to. When you introduce Yazid and Hussein, shift gears. Make it cinematic. Prioritize the moral dimension over the military one.
And you can find the time for that. You can condense the really complex treaty between Hassan and Muawiyah.
Good point.
Use those saved minutes to expand on the sensory details. The denial of water from the Euphrates, the impossible odds, Hussein's small band against 4,000 soldiers.
And his refusal to pledge allegiance to a tyrant. Frame his death not as a defeat, but as the victory of principle that solidified the Shia identity.
That identity piece is so crucial, but the script sort of blurs the line between political opposition and actual theological schism until the very end.
It does. It leaves the listener hanging.
Yeah, the script details the first fitna and the harajiz as these purely military events. So we're left waiting until the conclusion to understand how swords actually turned into separate doctrines.
The fix here is to weave the theology into the history as it happens. Don't save it for a postscript analysis at the end.
Right, so when you talk about the arbitration at Siffin, pause. This idea of spiritual infallibility versus the caliphate for Sunnis, which is more about political administration.
And when you mention the party of Ali, you have to clarify immediately. They believed the al-Bayt, the people of the house, had a unique spiritual guidance that an elected leader just didn't possess.
It's a doctrinal split, not just a political one.
So, to recap, the facts are all here, but this needs to shift from a textbook timeline to a character-driven tragedy.
Yes.
Center those conflicting definitions of legitimacy right at the start and give Karbala the emotional weight it deserves.
Do that and you'll explain not just how the split happened,
But why it still matters so deeply today.
Exactly. Fix the pacing, find the heart of the story, and please send it back to us. We really want to read that version.